Welcome to the Story of Liberty. This is your host, John Bona. D-Day is a name given to the landing of 160,000 Allied troops in Normandy, France on June 6, 1944. The success of this great invasion of Normandy was really the beginning of the end for the Nazi Party in Germany. Ronald Reagan spoke how that day in history when the Allied peoples joined in battle to reclaim this European continent that was losing their liberty. 4 years had passed and much of Europe had been under this terrible cloud of tyranny. Free nations had literally fallen, and the Jews cried out from the concentration camps. Millions cried out for freedom and liberty, and Europe was being enslaved by one ruthless leader, Adolf Hitler. It's amazing that the evil that one man could do. And the world prayed for the success of England and the Allied troops. In Normandy, the rescue began. And here the Allies stood together and fought against tyranny in a giant undertaking that was unparalleled in human history. The invasion began on that day, and although German resistance continued even after all 5 beachheads were taken, they were ineffective because they had too few troops in the area to resist the Allied force. By August of 1944, all of northern France was under Allied control as Dwight D. Eisenhower began to prepare for the invasion of Germany. D-Day was originally scheduled for June 5th, but the weather was rough and pushed back one day. This invasion against tyranny was a giant undertaking, unparalleled in human history. 5,000 ships carrying men and vehicles across the English Channel, as well as 800 planes dropping over 13,000 men in parachutes. Most difficult landing of D-Day was at Omaha Beach. Navigation problems resulted in many men drowning before they reached land. Omaha Beach had the largest amount of German troops, and the fighting was fierce. It is the Omaha Beach battle that is reenacted in the opening of the movie Saving Private Ryan. You may have seen it. But the success of the D-Day invasion was the end of Nazi Germany. It was the end of Adolf Hitler. Hitler was forced to fight a two-front war now against the Russians on the east and the Americans, British, Canadians, and French on the west. Within a year, Hitler committed suicide and the war was over. But we need to remember that God predestines even the birthdays of people. You might ask why I say this. Well, we don't hear this a lot from the media or historians, but it was the birthday of Rommel's wife, one of the main leaders of Hitler's army, and his wife's birthday happened to be on the day of the invasion. So instead of staying with his Panzer tank unit, he pulled out. He left on a little plane and he flew back to Berlin to see his wife. He thought that the rainstorm would continue and would keep the Allies from attacking. He was wrong. He was dead wrong. Shall we go forward and attack? He said, no, it's too late. We've lost a war. Our boys were able to get a beachhead at Normandy. See, folks, God even predestines the birth dates of even his enemies. It was the providence of God that gave America and the Allied forces the victory in World War II.